Hello there and welcome, lovely divine being. You are in the right place if you are ready to receive some unspoken life advice from your paternal bloodline. We're not just worried about those who are on the other side of the veil. We're also, if you could get a sit down with your uncles, with your brothers, or with your dad, maybe some of the cousins, any of the masculine energies in your family, we're going to see what they would tell you. They're going to put you on the game, and we're going to do that in just a moment. But before we do, I do have to remind you, you want to check out my freebies library. Oh my goodness. It is building every day so many good enriched things that I've used personally. So I'm like, nah, I gotta share this with y'all. So don't forget to check out the freebies. And yes, I am available for bookings. Yes, you can book me for private parties. Yes, we can also book personal sessions to dive in deep, to learn and condition your energy for the big reset, because you are ready to step into your greatness. All right, without further ado, I think we are ready to get set and pick a grandpa. So if you are feeling called to grandpa number one, we're meeting grandpa in the bowling alley, okay? And he got a serious look on his face, so maybe we're a little bit late. Let's hurry up. If so, you're going to redirect yourself to reading number one. Or perhaps you're feeling more called to our fun grandpa that is at a rooftop bar on vacation. Okay, grandpa. Yes, indeed. If so, you're definitely going to want to redirect yourself to reading number two. And grandpa number three, hanging out, waiting for us in the couch in his usual spot. If you're feeling called to this grandpa, then make sure you redirect yourself to reading number three. Okay, take a final moment to select. Is it going to be grandpa number one, grandpa number two, or grandpa number three? Yep, that gives us just about enough time. Make sure you are liking, subscribing for more, checking out my other platforms. I am on Instagram, and share this with somebody you love. Why not? And I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Lovely pal number one. Welcome to your reading. You picked grandpa number one. I'm so excited to do this reading. We're going to look at some channeled messages from the paternal bloodline. If you haven't checked out, look at the maternal bloodline reading where we channeled love advice. Today we are channeling life advice. The first thing that I did get was that this is a spirit guide. This is a fatherly spirit guide, or it's either a grandfather. Either way, it's a masculine or it's a father figure. They're a masculine energy that visits you at nighttime. So I am doing this reading right now. It's 1:00 in the morning. So let's start with protecting the circle so that only messages rooted in divine love, wisdom, and truth are allowed through. Calling on your angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides of the highest order to please step forth to do just that, so that we may channel messages only in divine wisdom, love, and truth. They're showing me a ladder. So we're going to do this in different part, but there's something with your ladder. This can either be symbolically speaking. You're either about to climb the corporate ladder, climb the ladder to success, or they recently just climbed the ladder. That could mean that they are showing me that I'm seeing a father figure that and this is not a mediumship reading. This is a channel reading to get you life advice from anyone in your paternal bloodline that's alive or not. You know, some things that you just can't say. It's unspoken life advice. But this really feels like more of like a spirit guide first that wants to lead the messaging. And they're saying that recently, or this could be someone who was in your family that just transitioned, that was a male. And they're saying that they just climbed the ladder. So I feel like, or even if they transitioned some time ago, but whoever you are very close to as your father figure, they just climbed the ladder to like the next tier in the heavens. Okay, so they just moved up, and the wind is picking up outside. So yeah, they just moved up in ranking almost. All right, so we're going to do this in 3 different ways. Number 1, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at the general life advice. After we do that, we're going to then look at, and that's going to be open, whatever comes out, okay? Then we're going to pull a second deck, and in that deck, we're going to get specific reasons why they're proud of you. You know, that's like indirect advice, because if they're proud of you for doing that, it's kind of like keep going, keep doing those things. So after we look at the things that they are proud of that you're doing, we're going to get just specific messages to close out with words of wisdom for you to carry throughout your days. Okay? So without further ado, starting with general advice for those who pick pile number 1. And I'm doing dim lighting. It's better for the eyes. Okay, hold on. Let me know in the comments though if that's like not something that y'all are vibing with, but I just feel like during the nighttime readings it's better. Better for you, it's better for the energy, better for me. Most people don't care, but some do. Let me know your thoughts on it if you care to share it. Okay, so the first thing that I'm seeing, unspoken life advice. Let's turn that TV down. Yeah, as I was saying that this, the first thing that I'm sensing is that you do have a guide or a guardian who's a masculine figure. Feel like either they transitioned a long time ago and they followed you throughout your lifetime, or they recently did. Either way, this individual, this being, feels like it was human, though it doesn't feel like celestial. It feels like it was human. They visit you a lot at nighttime. They visit you in your dreams and they protect you while you're sleeping. That's the first thing down. Okay, let's see what else we got. We have here trader. Exchange your energy to create abundance. Heart guardian. Love and let yourself be loved. I was interpreting a message as I was reading, so my brain kind of shorted out right there. Wow. And high priestess. Harness mystic power. Let's interpret this. All right, let's start here with this first card here, trader. First off, you have something in your, like, some life advices. They want you to not just rely on the hustle of work. There's a lot of, like, there's something that you learned or you have in your family, like on the paternal side. It doesn't matter if you're masculine or feminine, male or female listening. There's a gift that you have in your family that y'all use. Like, I'm getting a lot of carpentry or things that work with the hands, or good businessmen, salesmen. There's musicians, you know. They want you to not just feel like the only way you can make money is through hard work, 9 to 5, like head down. You got to come home dirty. You got to come home greasy. You got to come home, depleted. They want you to know that there are other trades. There's other skills that you have. Like, it's in your family. It's in your family. Like, whether you are really good with leather or repairing shoes or it's more of like a skill. It's not really like I don't feel like this is a gift. And maybe if we follow the timeline back, it might be a gift, but it feels like a skill that almost you might be really athletic, but it just feels like they want you to open up yourself, your mindset more to the opportunity of potentially not just seeing that you can only work at this type of capacity to make money, to create abundance for your family. And as I said, family, I'm also getting the impression that they want you to not limit, the children of the families, because the new generations are going to be even more creative than the ones that are popping up now. And they want you to kind of trust their vision, with with limitations, don't just do whatever they want, but they want you to trust the children that you have, or the little ones that are coming up next. They want you to kind of trust, because in some of them, this is interesting, this is a little bit of a deep channel, and some of them, they are the new souls that were just passed over from, some of the other souls that might have passed away in the family. Like it could be like the great grandpa, but now he's back, and now he's in like you're the soul of your nephew, or the soul of your grandbaby, or something like that. Okay, so like they're also here, the newer generations in your family. Let them lead you sometimes too. They're here to help you to understand new ways of discovery in life, to not be so jaded. So I guess it's like to not be so hard on them if you're being hard on them, or so rigid or tight, not tight-lipped, but just having too much restrictions in place for their visions and their own dreams, because you're not able to see it because of the things that you saw growing up, which was not doing and not pursuing personal dreams, just working 9-to-5s, collecting checks from a master. This is really about you moving from being a servant to a master mindset. Even if you keep your job, this is not about you quitting your job. Please don't misconstrue. This is about you expanding past just the job, so that financial security feels better. And if you do have multiple hustles, not being just tied into the hustle. Like, try to do things that are from the heart too. Like, don't just have 3 jobs that are just jobs. Like, where are you giving back and exchanging your warmth? And if that has to look like volunteering, pencil that in to your schedule. There's something about your warmth. As we go to this heart guardian, like, you have a very unique heart. Here's some life advice here. They want you to be careful about wearing your heart on your sleeve so much and just giving people such access to you so quickly, especially to the women. Okay, this tends to be a woman characteristic, just giving your heart so quickly, giving access to you so easily, letting someone in so fast to the nurturing parts of you. Don't tell your secrets so much. Not really maintain mystery, but more so about people don't need to know your secrets. And this is again now for everybody, not just the ladies, but I feel like if you're someone who has a tendency to pillow talk, and you might start telling, some of the trauma that you had, and this is why you don't really get along with your sister now, and your uncle used to do that to your cousin, and that's why your cousin a little crazy. I'm not trying to laugh at family trauma, but the examples that I'm just getting, they tickle me sometimes. Those are like core examples, but sometimes people don't need to know all of that. They want you to start to practice learning them before you allow them access to learn you. And that is very intricate in how to coexist in a relationship where you are keeping up. Yeah, I guess it does go back to that wall of mystery, so that someone is not getting more information on you than they've earned yet. This is a way to protect your heart, actually. Really, they want you to protect your heart more by letting you receive more. And this is interesting because we're dealing with masculine energy, and I'm curious how your maternal love advice would have panned out if you looked at my maternal bloodline reading. If not, check it out, like I said, because this is coming from the paternal side. They're like, protect your heart by protecting your access, and a part of your access is your data. And this is very logical, right? The data is your information. They don't need to know your passcode to your phone. They don't need to know the password to your computer. They don't need to know the key code to get into your apartment, or to get into your condo, or to get into your house. They don't need to know your fucking address. People don't need to, like, they don't even maybe need to know your social yet, or maybe they need to know the social and not the phone number. Like, there are certain things, like, they don't need to know your kids yet. They don't need to meet the family yet. They don't need to meet the bestie yet. They don't need to know your like where you work yet. There's certain things that they want you to get more used to gatekeeping until an individual proves that they are worthy of you. Quite simply put. High Priestess coming up next. Harness mystic power. This one is pretty straightforward for me because it feels as if they're telling you that you have a very powerful gift of insight. Where this gift comes from, we're not trying to channel like its origin. They're just saying for you to really understand how powerful your gift of insight is. You have a stronger insight than your siblings, they're saying. It's almost like it came from the paternal side. A lot of times we associate our psychicness to the mothers, but this is feeling like it came from the father side. Like maybe the men were a little bit more spiritual, or a little bit more religious, or a little bit more psychic. Ain't nothing like a male psychic, y'all. Okay, shout out to the male psychics out there. Ain't nothing like y'all. And there's like this reminder that they want you to keep. That's like, don't forget, you're really, really spot on most of the time. Like your sight and your vision is very clear, especially when you're steering your love life. I feel like this is a group that may have made some poor choices in their love life, more than the typical. Like maybe in this journey, like maybe in this lifetime, your soul decided that it wanted to really learn strong love lessons. And they're saying that they want you to use your insight more and to be more like a black cat in how you are. This is going to be interesting how I say this, but how you are seducing life. You see how she's holding this, I believe it's called a sistrum, but I could be wrong. But she's holding this sistrum or scepter in her hand. This is symbolizing power, and power through intended force. What is the force? What are you wanting to do? There is a lot that you could be actually building more of, whether it's more money or a bigger company or a larger family. Like there's a lot of power I'm trying to say here, so forgive me y'all if it sounds muddled. I'm gonna get it right though, and listen. There's a lot of power that resides in you that is waiting to be focused in a direction where you are stepping more into like your truer self. When I say truer self, it doesn't mean like you're living a lie. It means like more into a version where you're more in command. I feel like you have this part of you where your paternal bloodline is saying like you're strong enough to command the ship versus just being a random sailor on the boat. Like you can be the captain. So it's time to step up and be that captain on this ship versus just another sailor. So let's get some things that they're proud of. So things that your paternal bloodline would say, you know, whether they're alive or not, what they would say to you that they are actually proud of that you do, or that is happening right now for you. Let's see. Give me at least 3 cards. We have 1. Wow, we have 2. And we have exactly 3. At the bottom, we have you and your loved ones are safe. I do feel like they really enjoy how well you act as a protector to the family. Like, they like that you are very serious about the family. Like, nobody messes with your family. And that might sound like, well, yeah, everybody's like that. Everybody is not like that. There's a lot of people that set their family up. Like, stop playing. You like that. There's a lot of people that's not like that. So there's something about you being very protecting over the family. Just like, I feel like you're giving makings of a matriarch or makings of the next patriarch in the blood, in the, you know, in the in the lineup of who's alive. But the way that you protect everyone and look out for everyone, they're proud of that. They're like, thank you. You take a lot of stress off of some of your angel watchers plates, because they're like, they're looking out on earth, so I can do a little bit less and I can do more of the heavenly stuff to help out. We have show the world the real you. Excuse me, I'm reading weird tonight. It's because it's late. But anyhow, with Aquarius, this does feel like there's something about you that is very unique. It's very either quirky or not like the traditional everybody else. And I don't mean that, I mean this like visibly. Like, you might dress different, or you might really have very just clearly different interests than everyone else in the family or in your community or in society. There's something that's very uniquely identifiable about you that stands out. It's not like what others are doing, and they like that. If your paternal bloodline could tell you anything, they're like, yo, they like how you're different. They like how you just are not afraid to be the real you. Like, on your socials, like on your social media online, they're like, you're the real you. They like that. They're proud of that. Some of you are kind of like provocative and seductive, and sultry, and sensual. Like, you know the words I'm saying. Like, they're even like, you go girl, you go boy. Like, be who you are. If you're part of LGBTQ plus, they're proud of you for like waving your freak flag, and not freak in a bad way, like freak, like freaky way, but not even in that way. They're just proud of you for being, honestly, being one of the freaks. This is kind of giving like Rocky movie horror story. Forgive me if I'm butchering the name, but when I say freaks, I'm not trying to call you a freak in a bad way. It's like you have a different quality, and if it's not visible, it's how you think. Like, you think different from everybody else in the family, and they're like, oh, finally a freaking fresh breath of air around here. Somebody's Italian. Definitely you picked this pile. I know you're Italian. Somebody, your ancestry is Italian for sure. Okay, the next card they have for what they're proud of is meditate and contemplate. They do appreciate that you are developing or have established a relationship with your psyche and spiritual nature. They like your paternal bloodline will complement how you're seeking something on a deeper spiritual path that no one else in the family is really doing. No one else in the family has really ever thought about doing. Or you're very consistent with your spiritual or religious habits. They would complement how close you are to spirit. You feel like a Pisces. And I know this is a Pisces card here, but even from before with the heart on the sleeve, and we were talking about learning relational boundaries, you were in the belief in your power. You were giving Pisces. You might have very prominent Piscean placements or high levels of Venusian energy. If you're not, this does not mean it's not for you. But I do strongly feel like somewhere in your chart, whether Vedic or not, you have prominent Piscean placements. And they really love how you love God. They admire, especially those paternal members who are on the other side, they admire how you give reverence to the Most High and the work that you do with the ancestors. Some of you're very conscientious about your work with the ancestry. They want to say thank you. Like, they're the reason why they were able to get to you at this reading. There's a lot of people on the other side who don't, like, they're They're not getting these messages. They're not even attracted to it. It's all because of the work that we kind of do together on earth and in the heavens or in the afterlife. The last card that you have here is Believe in the Impossible. They do love your disposition and things. They like how resilient you are. I'm trying to get that blurriness out of there for you. There we go. But they love how resilient you are. They love how you have this wild sense of hope and belief and imagination. It's as if you're very imaginative, and that imagination that you use with the kids, they really admire that. Like they would say that they're proud of how outside of the box you can think. And it does kind of give me like, if you were to match this with your gifts and your skills, like you can really come up with something outside of the box that can, and it's landing on your power card. I know we're not trying to like give you advice here. Well, that's coming up kind of next, but I feel like if you looked at, there's a formula here, and I'm sensing it, and I'm trying to figure it out without derailing the subject of the reading. But number one, perhaps this is what the paternal bloodline wants you to know. And maybe this is what you do. Like you think outside the box to approach things, even simple fixes in the household. And they like clapping. They like when you do that. You're quick. Like if you're a mom and there's no food in the house, you know how to make a meal feel like Thanksgiving and you only have 3 ingredients. Okay. And, other ways around. That's just the first example I go to. Also, I feel like some of you are very handy, the males, or those of you who are, however you identify, just feel like someone's very handy. Female too, right? And they like how you come up with these ways, like there's something about you being ingenious. Like you have these ingenious ways that you just figure things out and fix it. Okay. But yeah, that formula I was feeling like there's something about you taking that ingenuity and finding a way to add it to your skill set to break out of this mold that you might have about approaching work and being tied to just serving a master. Okay, so let's get some words of wisdom, parting messages, words of wisdom. Thank you, number one, so much for being here. It's been a pleasure hosting you to receive this unspoken life advice from your paternal bloodline. Do not forget to join me on Instagram, where I provide astrology energy updates. People are loving those readings. All right. I'm definitely helping people change their lives and reset energy. So I want to give you a personal invite to join me there. Don't forget, I have a second YouTube channel. And in that second YouTube channel is where I do more consultations, teaching, and I do go live. I'm going to be going live a lot more. So this is where we can kind of interact more one-on-one and kind of speak about some of the spiritual journey that you're having and get you one-on-one help and support. 2 cards are on the floor, by the way. And the last thing I want to let you know about is the freebies section you'll find in the description. I got a plethora of treats and a lot of things that are coming down the pipeline. So let's go ahead and pick up the first card. My energy is a little waning. Okay, it's late, y'all, so forgive me if it feels a little off. The first thing, words of wisdom that they have for you is peace. Peace and contentment are coming to you. If you've been feeling like you just kind of want things to kind of settle and ground and not be so wild, I'm reading this in 2 ways. That peace is going to be finding you soon, but it's not just the peace of your external environment. If you're living, some of you are living like within and in between situation. Like you're just living here for now, but it's coming soon. Your place, like your home is being built, or, your check is soon going to be deposited, whatever your situation is. Okay. It's like they just want you to know that the inner peace that you seek is on its way to arriving, as well as the external peace, especially within your household. Let me get the other 2 cards that fell on the floor. Your next message was soulmate. soulmate is giving me the impression that you're going to be meeting a version of a soulmate. And it fell with this card. So past life connection, this feels like a version of a soulmate that was from a past life. That goes back. Remember I said that there's a baby being born back into this, like your family? This is someone from your past that was like a family member, a male family member. They are like, and soulmates aren't just romantic. This individual is your soulmate and they're coming back. Like, so whether you're expecting your child, one of your children are expecting, like a sibling is expecting, or somebody, it could be your bestie expecting, right? Somebody close to you, excuse me for it going out of frame, I'm channeling and not looking, but somebody close to you is going to be expecting or is expecting or recently had a delivery, and you'll know. It's going to be like when Jacob imprinted on Bella's baby, okay? And again, it's not romantic. This isn't a romantic thing. This is about, you'll be like, oh my gosh, I know that my nephew is my grandfather. I know, because his spirit is in his eyes, and you'll have a special bond. And it's so like, it almost is making me emotional, because you really miss this person, and they found their way back to you in this lifetime, and that feels so sweet. So thank you, number one, and until next time. Opal number two. Opal number two. How you doing? Welcome to your reading. You pick grandpa number two. I'm feeling fun, giddy. I won't tell you what transpired before this reading, but I'm feeling fun. And I do feel like it has something to do with you picking the fun grandpa. Yeah. All right. So welcome to your unspoken life advice from the paternal bloodline. If you have not, check out my maternal bloodline reading, where we channel the unspoken love advice from the maternal bloodline. This is an inspiration to help you, and it doesn't have to just be for those, in case you skipped past the intro, this is not just for those who are living or transitioned onto the other side. This is unspoken life advice that is going to be things that anyone in your family, if you can speak to the panel of men in your family or those who identify as, this is what the masculine energies, this is the game that they will put you on. All right. So we're going to do this in 3 different ways. The first thing that we're going to look at is just general unspoken life advice. Again, the game that the ancestors, those that just recently transitioned, and even like if you have brothers or fathers, maybe you're not close to them, maybe you wish you can get them to talk to you about this thing, but you can't. This is that. All right. So kick back and relax. You picked grandpa number two. So we have 3 different decks. We're going to look at general unspoken life advice. Then we're going to get the things that they're actually proud of. Like if they could actually give you flowers, this is what they would give you flowers about. And closing out your reading, we're going to give you just general advice that comes through and personalized messages. So without further ado, we're going to call in the angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides of those that picked pile number 2, as well as my own, to please step forth and protect the circle so that only messages rooted in divine love, wisdom, and truth are allowed through Ashe. Okay, so there is something with a red spindle, and that's making me feel like there is something in association with your root chakra and your fear of travel and your fear of flying. So that is either literally or symbolically. Literally, you're afraid to travel outside of like maybe your home body. You might struggle with agoraphobia, or perhaps you are someone who is more just complacent with like your schedule. I'm getting the vibrational number in numerology of the number 4, just something that's consistent in the pattern to create foundation and structure, but it does not sway or move off that pattern. That's why what follows the number 4 is the number 5, chaos, because chaos has to enter to disrupt the system so that expansion can happen. So I do feel like this is why I was seeing the red spindle in the root chakra. You have a unique relationship Excuse me. I'm trying to fix my red dragon in the background here. This is Dagron. Okay, one of my spirit guardians, and he's making an appearance here, and as you can see, he's red. The red chakra is appearing for you because if we look at the red chakra symbolically, and we look at the red chakra, I'm saying the red chakra, but I mean the root chakra, which is the red chakra, and the root chakra, red chakra is all related to, in a different type of symbolism, the devil, because that's the lower energy, that's the underworld. The root chakra is the underworld. It's where we get the hell, where we go to hell, go through hell to build stability. Okay, so there's something about you dancing a little bit with the your inner devils or your inner demons, or conquering them, overcoming those inner devils and inner demons that are preventing you from expanding or preventing you from reaching a further. They're showing me altitude. So there is something about travel, whether traveling back to your home country or a home country, an ancestral roots destination, or just your fear of moving outside of your routine. And this is why I was saying it's symbolic as well, because if you're not afraid of flying or travel, but if you're not afraid of flying, and specifically, it could be that you might be afraid of expanding. And they're also showing me something with your career aspect. Maybe you've been just working that in that career space for a while, and you know that you have enough expertise or whatever, and you're ready to expand past that. If you're on my platforms and you're attracted to me, I am about expansion. I'm about soul expansion at the sovereign level. So I don't tend to attract people, or if I do, anyone who's moving in that like consistent pattern rhythm of life, stuck in a matrix. I'm the motherfucker that's here to wake you up. All right. So I do feel like the messages that are coming in from you, these are just the divine channels. We're going to get into the cards, number 2. These are just the messages that I'm hearing coming from your paternal bloodline. And it's not harsh. It feels like spice it up a little bit. Have a little fun. You got that bun all the time. You always got your hair in a ponytail and braids. Like, let that shit out. Like, hang loose. Have a little, like, shake up the system, shake up the routine a little bit. Aren't you tired of doing that? Like, oh, again, we're gonna, yay, the same PTO days off. Woohoo. Shake shit up, number 2. Okay, so let's see. What an intro, granddad. It's because he's been sipping on that cocktail. You know the granddad you picked. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3, which is the perfect amount. First, we're going to look at the bottom. And we have here, surround yourself with protective energy. I do feel called to look at this in reverse. I do feel as if that this is not a call for you to surround yourself with protective energy. I feel that you are already highly protective, meaning that you protect your routines. Like, you are not the type of person, or maybe you are, I don't want to say that, but I feel that you are the type of person that has a lot of boundaries kind of in place with things that boundaries need to exist, and you protect and reinforce those boundaries fiercely because you know what you've worked towards. I'm hearing that maybe some of you have been exposed to a family where like overindulging or addictions have been something that you witnessed, and perhaps you're like, I don't want to be that. Whether you are that or not is a different story, but for some of you, I do feel like obviously you're not. Like, you're like, I don't want to be that, and I'm very strict about my intake with alcohol or whatever indulgences, okay? And others of you are a little bit in denial about it. Like, no, I'm not like that, but my lady, you are. And there's no judgment on this platform. It is totally okay because at the soul level, the soul don't care. The soul came here to experience everything so that it can learn. And what's the point of learning? People say, oh, so you can learn. What the fuck is the point of learning? Anybody ever ask you that? What's the point of learning? You learn to expand. So there is a lot of resonance with you, number 2, about your limited expansion. The limited way that you expand in your approach to life through your rigid routines. Your paternal bloodline will be like, look, you're very protected. We get it. We know you might be someone who's like pro firearms and pro like concealed weapons and carrying, I ain't no judgments here. You do what you do, baby. Okay, bang bang. If you have to live that lifestyle, and even if you're not doing it legally, it's not the point here. It's just the image that I'm getting is that there's and if you're not doing that, that's also like whatever. The image that I'm getting is like there's brick walls, there's like high walls up of protection around you, but it's protecting you from your own opportunities. It's protecting you from your own blessings. So let's proceed. Number 2, we have Druid in reverse, hold the space. And again, I'm going to leave it upright, but let's keep in mind it was in reverse. It was in reverse. So with this hold the space energy, I'm sensing that you're resisting. Like, I feel like the paternal bloodline would say like, okay, let her know. There's a lot of females that pick this file. Let them know that like they are, like there's something that they see that they should be pursuing. So it's a person, like for those of you, it's like, you know what, this is the person I should be like, stop resisting from and stop running from. Or it's a pathway towards like financial security. Like, you know that you should develop this or send out that or apply to this or get into this program for that. There's like something where you are overly, and excuse me for the blurriness because I'm like channeling and not looking at the camera, but there's something where I feel like you're overly holding the space for, and you kind of don't have to. Because if you notice this crystal at the top, like your intuitive insight wants to play more of a role in your life. Number 2. So your paternal bloodline would say, don't be afraid to take more risks. Don't be afraid to take more risks in love, in life. Let the kids out a little bit more than you say. You say no a lot. I'm sorry, you're one of those parents that say no a lot. And if you're not, obviously let that fly, because it don't apply. Let that fly. You don't kill every fly, right? So let the fly if it don't apply. But for others, you're one of them real rigid parents. It's like, no. So there is something that tells me that you're moving from an anxious attachment, personality, style that is preventing you from receiving the fullness and the riches of what life can give. And it gives it through experiences. And yes, sometimes those experiences are going to be harsh, but how do we get stronger if we don't tear a little muscle tissue to rip and develop new cells to rebuild there? Okay. You don't gain anything in this earth experience without sacrificing something. So it does feel like maybe you're afraid to make certain sacrifices. I'm not saying that you don't sacrifice enough. No. I don't even know you, so don't feel that way. But there might be that you're timid or tentative to make certain types of sacrifices that, again, you know that if you made them, they would really shift your world. Okay, so let's look at the next one, which we have is Air Guardian. Shift your speaking of shift, I promise you I didn't see that word. Shift your perception, shift your world. And it was also in reverse. I just want to point out the intensity of her eyes. She holds such an intensity in her gaze. And I do feel like the paternal bloodline is saying that there is something about your focus. And remember, it was in reverse. So, and it's as if they want you to shift your focus onto something else. I do feel as if this is a group, if I can be totally honest with like my gut instinct, I feel like you are a grinder. You are a hustler. You work so hard. Like, I want to cry, not because I'm like super emotional, but because I want to cry the blood. No, I want to cry the tears part of the blood, sweat, and tears. That's how much work I feel like you've put into your profession, just to get by. Like, I feel like that might be one of your anthems of life. And they, like, the paternal bloodline is like, okay, I would love it if you would just shift your perception a little bit from doing so much hustle. Like, there might be a better way to approach your finances. We are in the golden era. People saying age, I'm saying era. This is a time where you may be able to, if you shifted your perception and stopped being so guarded. And look at this crown around her head. Even that's telling me like mental guards. So let's step out of the physical realm real quick and travel to the spiritual realm. Okay, now that we're in the spiritual realm, this is actually good, because you having such this protection around you, it protects you mentally, and also your auric energetic field. I'm seeing it protects you from intrusion or intruder type of energy, or intruder thoughts, or just any type of offense against you. You have a natural psychic defense system. So we're not going to get into why you have that. It's probably from your ancestors or some prior lifetimes that you've developed this. That's not what this reading is about. So let's travel back to the future and discuss in the physical realm what it is that's also happening. Your protection is preventing you from seeing alternatives. It's like having tunnel vision and needing to expand that tunnel vision, and being able to now start to see alternatives to maybe an approach in how you're living your lifestyle. We'll call it that. For many, it does feel like financial. It feels like the way for you to avoid some form of financial burnout. Let's go into your next card, which is Stag. It's Stag. No, it's Stag, Trust and Thrive. They want to let you know, just some general advice that, okay, so one very particular message does not apply to everyone, that there is going to be health and healing that comes into a son or a grandson, or a child in the family where there are concerns about health. I'm not a health reader, okay? So that was a very particular channel. I'm also hearing that some of the general advice is for you to get a little bit more clear and cleaned up with your finances. I'm sensing that you have either you are or you have it coming in some money in grand amounts. There's something about your wealth management, okay? So particularly how you are managing your wealth, you possess the potential more than anyone else in your family to create generational wealth, so that multiple generations after you, obviously generational wealth, not me defining it out, but let's go with it. Multiple generations after you can eat, are solid. They're showing me, and it's interesting because they're showing me old money, like the concept of old money versus new money in America. For those of you who aren't familiar, we have this thing, or not thing, but we have kind of like this, let's say, like, we have this thing where it's like old money versus new money. And old money is, the Rockefellers and Carnegies. And, if we're going to international, I guess one of the families that comes to mind is like the Medici family, the Borgia family. So that would be like the old money. And as we relate it to new money would be, like influencers who are fucking multimillionaires, or people who were just kind of born from nowhere and they become billionaires. So this is what I feel. I feel like your potential that you're sitting on, I guess once you shift your focus, is moving from an old money kind of like moving into, it's so weird because it's like you're moving into old money, but you're still new money. You know, it's like the wealth that you're creating will feel like old money for the future generations. If you just kind of trust your investments and trust yourself to handle all of this wealth. All right, so let's get some more cards. Next, let's look at what are they actually proud of that you're already doing. Like if they can tell you, again, it doesn't matter if they've transitioned or not, your paternal bloodline, what's some unspoken life advice that they would tell you if they say, like, you know, I'm just really proud how you handle this. I really like how you handle this. Okay, 2, give me one more. All right, they gave me 2 more. At the bottom, we have luck is on your side. So they would compliment how you really move through. And we're not going to take these in reverse. We'll just take these as they are. But they really compliment how you move through life, like with perseverance. And it's almost as if you generate and create your own form of luck. You just kind of move through things, and it's like shit just works out for you. So I guess the higher self versions of those that are still alive, that are masculine, and those who have transitioned, they kind of watch you in awe. It's like they're showing me watching one of the Greek or Roman demigods go through different trials and impressing the gods, just saying like, oh, like marveling them, like, like I didn't realize that Heracles could, you know what I mean? So I digress. Like you're very impressive, whether you are maybe perhaps super athletic or not. Is just something how you move through life. It's like, yo, this motherfucker slick, boy. I like how they move, boy, like that. All right, so meditate and contemplate. This is giving like they really appreciate your relationship with the divine. They appreciate how you are very connected, and it's interesting how it falls on the druid as well, because the druid is a very spiritual figure if we're looking at it in history. And they like how, I don't know if you do it conscientiously or not, but you really rely upon, you know, the signal from God before you make a decision and before you move. That could be why you take so long to do something. This is given like a Taurus energy, Capricorn, earth signs, not as much Virgo, because Virgos, they analyze, but they analyze quick because they have that Mercury energy. This doesn't mean that is your zodiac sign. This means that there is a presence in your chart, or it could just be in the current transition in the celestials that's influencing you from the earth archetypal aspects or the elemental aspects of the earth signs. Okay. We don't just look at your sun sign, your moon sign. Like, no, you're connected to a grander celestial. So we have to pull ourselves from just our cosmic imprint to the grander celestials. Which, by the way, I'm going to be offering a service which is going to blow your socks off. I'm so happy about announcing it. I will have an official announcement soon, but depending on when you are watching, make sure you are checking the description box. This is going to be a service that I've never seen offered by any other spiritual practitioner, and it will help you with identifying and understanding uniquely your cosmic imprint on this earth. Oh, I cannot wait to introduce it to everyone. So again, if you're watching this in the future, make sure you are checking the details section to get you one. All right. So meditate and contemplate. Yes, you have a very well-balanced relationship with spirit. And if you're doing it conscientiously or not, there's something about you not moving and not being able to be bold, or not budging, I should say, not budging until something within you feels truly aligned. What it is that you need to release. What do you need to release? Okay, this is going to sound weird, but they really like how you clean up. There's something about, you being really good at the cleanup or straightening things out. So again, literally or symbolically or both for you. So literally speaking, how you can clean up a house, clean up a room, clean up yourself. There's just something about the cleanup. Symbolically speaking, how you can clean up a mess. So if you get yourself into something, or if you're at work and it's like an occurrence or an emergency comes up, and you're like in a boss setting, or maybe you're just a team member, maybe you work as an independent contractor and you just really handle messes really well. And also they're showing me like for others, again, this applies across the board. Maybe all of these are check boxes for you, but even for others, like family members, like they're in a pinch and they call you and they need money, or they just need advice. Not money, because you can't give it to them, or maybe you can give it to them. There's just something about the way that you perform cleanup, and you're able to just move forward, like let shit go. Not like let it go, like you don't hold grudges. I'm not saying that you don't do that, but it's like you don't let bullshit trip you up and slow you up. It's like and again, it goes back to that like protection that you have. It's like my mind is so protected, I don't got time for that drama. Like, girl, go ahead with that. Like, I'll listen to you, I'll give you advice, but you messing with my money right now. There's something like that. There's like, you like, I don't have time. This kind of goes back to that meditate and contemplate, for you to disrupt my connection with source. I don't have time for that. Take that over there on that side of the pond. I'll meet y'all over there. Just get the grill going. I'll bring the hot dogs. I got to go to the store first, because I'm not dealing with that right now. So there's something about you really knowing how to release, even if it's temporarily or long term permanently. Let them fucking try. You know how to release shit, so that way you can keep your mental space and boundaries. You have here, work through your fears. Working through your fears with new moon in Scorpio. Again, this takes me back to like you being courageous, but it's also kind of interesting because it's like you present as this courageous, no bullshit. Like, I don't know, zero tolerance for tomfoolery. Are you Tom or are you foolery? Because I don't got time for neither one of y'all motherfuckers today. So like zero tolerance for the tomfoolery. But then again, there's also something about you being resistant to change. And I'm wondering, just like on the shadow end, what is that resistance connected to at the root and at the core? Not that we're going to figure that out in today's reading. That's not the center. But I just want to put that on the table for maybe you to pick at, if you're willing to look into your own shadow, because the cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek. And perhaps there's something to it where your rigidness is connected maybe to something that happened earlier on, where if we can move you past that hurtful memory and stop reliving in that time loop, we can get you to really face your fears. So you actually are very brave. You actually are very courageous. You're, again, like that no tolerance. You're very powerful too. I'm getting someone who's strong physically, male, female, like, I don't care what you are. Like, there's something about you that's strong. Even if you don't even look like you're that strong, you like, damn, you could take another bag. Shit, I didn't know you was that strong. Like, there's something about you. Either you come from strong stock or you work at it to intentionally be strong, but there's something about you that is very strong. And with that strength, there is a way that you are able to channel it to conquer your fears so that nothing holds you back. Let's keep going. Number 2, expect powerful change. It does give the impression that they appreciate how your resilience bounces back after something very, I look at this sometimes as a tower card in this zodiac deck. And there's something about your resilience and your ability to bounce back after something has been challenging at the family level. I just feel like you're always able to find light on the other side. There you have, because if you notice, all of these moons are dark moons. New moon, new moon, and new moon. You're all about starting over, starting fresh. They like how, and when I say that, I don't mean that like it's it's like there's such a contradictive energy in you, because at the big things, like you are so locked in that your routines sometimes prevent you from the expansion part. But when it comes to you being able to, like, you focus so hard. Here's what I mean. I finally get it. You focus so hard that when things come up to trip you, like we said before, your reset game, like you reset the energy so powerfully, so quickly, because it's like, nope, I got to get back to focus because I have a family to raise. I have a legacy to leave and I don't got time to waste. It's as if like you have this mega defense system to your castle and you're the castle. Like we can look up the castle in history that was never able to be penetrated. It was an impenetrable castle. You are the owner. Like, nope, load the moats. Thank you. Okay. Nope. Drop out the tar. Okay. Nope. Put in the cannon bolts, or the catapult, excuse me. Okay. Yep. Put out the alligators or the crocodiles. Yeah. Like you have these defense systems that are just, and it allows you to kind of reset and refocus. It's a very powerful, dark gift that you received from your time in past incarnations in the shadow realm. You've spent time in the past in the shadow realm, and it's given you this ability to kind of like have a, what is it called? I'm channeling and I can't think of it now. Like to ward. It's warding, but it's at a deeper level. Banish. That's what it is. You have this magnificent way about you that banishes unwanted energy. What a long road we took to get there, right? All right, so let's get some closing messages for you, pal number 2, from your grandpa number 2, and from Unspoken life advice from your paternal bloodline. I just want to say thank you, number 2, for being here. Your energy was fun, but also like kind of powerful. I don't feel like I've ever channeled someone who's like so layered with having the restrictive energy, but also the discipline. Like, I don't know, you kind of give that Shaolin master type of energy there. So I do want to invite you to check out the freebies while you are here at my platform. I have such, and it keeps growing. I'm like going to keep giving you guys freebies. You can try to stop me, but you're not going to be able to. So make sure you are checking out the freebies library, which is down there, accessible to you in the description, as well as checking me out on my socials. I am currently on Instagram. I might do TikTok. I'm thinking about it, but I'm right now on Instagram, where every month we are discussing the astrological energetic updates in your life. We're looking at love, we're looking at career, we're looking at your cash, and we're also looking at your sex life. And you can also see me if you want to look at me more from behind the scenes and behind the camera. So make sure you're checking out my Instagram and subscribe. I am changing lives there. People are loving the content, so I want to give you a personal invite to join me there. Wow, look here, you can't make this up because you did see me shuffle on camera. Balance is important. All right, so giving yourself more of that balance between the rigidness and having a little bit more fun. Juggling too many things at once. Find more time for yourself, and also just more time to have fun and enjoy life with your loved ones, or just by yourself. Shit, you know, sometimes the best time you can have is when you're spending it alone. All right, some of the open messages just to close it out. All right, we'll just see what it means. You can channel the meaning for you too is creativity. Wow, look, what's the first word here? Have fun. Have fun. Express yourself in new ways. You cannot make this up. It is time to create new experiences, stepping out of that rigid suit and stepping into a new one that feels good. You know, it still will feel good. You're still safe. And maybe that's why this protection came out, because it's like the reminder to let you know that you are safe. I do feel like there is something I'm going to give you a little bit extra time, number 2, because I do feel very important to share that. I feel like there is something in your childhood that is requiring your attention, maybe from a pain of like something that, let's just say some type of trauma that you experienced, and we all did. It's so general, but I really do feel like it's like early on, like 4, 5, 6, no older than 7. All right, so around 4, 5, or 6. Some of you 3, so 3 to 6, 3 to 7. Something particular happened where you really are holding that scar still. Okay, and I do feel like that's what's the connection to your resistance to kind of step outside the box sometimes of your routines. Deception, false illusions, scarcity mentality, falling into bad habits. So I'm going to let that kind of just sit there for you. Do you feel as if that there is something around you that is deceiving you right now? Someone, for some of you, is it an employer? Is it a sibling? Is it someone that you're sharing a financial relationship with? This might be something worth investigating, okay? I do offer quick hit readings if you want specific clarity in a quick turnaround time for a affordable price. All right, so that's also in the description if you're interested. All right, and then your last message, just open wow. Okay, so we have deception and pay attention. Look out for signs from the divine. Acknowledge red flags. So number 2, there is perhaps someone that you want to just keep your antennas up about. There's a situation maybe or circumstance, and I don't know if you can hear, but the bird just got a little loud at a moment ago. And whenever I hear birds pick up I call it a choir, like a noise choir. Because the birds, they see all. They're above us, right? It's as if they're chirping, like they're giving the news. They're sharing news. So there's something that you should be paying attention to about someone. This is not a warning. You're not endangered. You're not under threat. It's just you already have a hunch about an individual, and just pay attention. Just watch. Just watch how they move. Remember, I'm here for you if you need a quick hit reading for more clarity on this. And until next time, number 2, do not have any fear. Remember, you are so protected, which is why these messages are coming out for you right now. Change is good. You are ready to embrace it because you are so freaking powerful. Pull that energy from those shadow realm incarnations that you had, and let's start manifesting new, fun, wonderful experiences. You're ready. All right, number 2. Till next time. Hey there, and welcome, pile number 3. You picked grandpa number 3, and we are going to dive in. He seems like a really loving grandpa, right? So we're going to see what is the unspoken life advice. We did a channeling before where we looked at the unspoken love advice from your maternal bloodline. So check that out if you didn't see the messages from your maternal bloodline on love advice. So we're looking at life advice. Life advice from the paternal bloodline. Again, this, if you skip the intro, this does not just mean it is for those who are living. It could be those who've transitioned. This could be life advice that, your uncles, your brother, your father, whether you have a strained relationship with them or not. This is kind of like the game that they would put you onto, or if they could give you some wisdom from the masculine energetic side of things. All right. So without further ado, number 3, let's begin. We're going to do this in 3 forms or 3 ways using 3 different decks. The first deck is going to be just general messages about life advice. The second deck we're going to use will give us things that they're proud of. Like if they had to give you a pat on the back, like one of those atta girl or atta boy, this is what the second deck will help us to see. And then finally we'll close out with just general messages that will help you to kind of make sense. Maybe it'll be personalized messages or just that confirmation that you needed. So stay tuned. We're going to call right now on your angels, ancestors, guardians, and guides, and as well as my own of the highest order, to please step forth and protect this circle so that only messages rooted in divine love, wisdom, and truth are allowed through Ashe. If you hear something in the background, that is the vent going off, cleaning the air, purifying the air around me. Okay. All right. So I'm not... Okay, so there is an immediate channel, and it's a little bit ironic for me. I don't know the full meaning of it, but I'm just going to say it. And if it means something to you, maybe you're wearing it, maybe you will see someone with it. You just saw it. Maybe you scrolled on a platform and I'm going to tell you what it is. Bear with me. Maybe you scrolled on a platform and you saw somebody or this pattern or print on there. It could be somebody or somebody that says it, you overhear it in a conversation, in an ad, because it's so random. It's not a part of like everyday conversation what I'm going to tell you, but it's like they're telling me that this is going to be like, they're being kind of dramatic and kind of funny, but they're saying like, if this is not okay, because I don't want to make light of it, but MK Ultra, okay, like if this were a mind control secret trigger word to activate whatever magical or next part of your life is supposed to happen, this is the trigger word or image, and it's polka dot. So if you've been seeing polka dots or a polka dotted top, you're wearing it, like I said, all the ways. I'm not going to go through it again. There's something with polka dots. Okay? Black and white polka dots in particular. Maybe a navy blue with the white dots. But, all right. Polka dots. Okay. So let's go ahead and get your general messages. I don't know what that means. It's just an open channel. All right. Number three, your energy tends to be really kooky and out there, which is okay because I love kooky and out there. So that's the first channeled message. Let's see what the general life advice is from the paternal bloodline. We have one down. We have another one here. That one came out before I saw that. And I'm like, he's sticking out. And then number 3. We got a third one here. This one does want to make an appearance. Wow, surround yourself with protective energy. Now, I did interpret that as positive, so that could be a interpretation done not by mistake, where maybe right now you are around a lot of negative influences, whether that be your social circles, your work environment, or just your at-home structure. Okay? Or it could also be like the community in which you live. Maybe you have home in the house, or peace in the house, or your house feels like a home, okay? But when you step outside, maybe you live somewhere in an environment that's a little dangerous, whether by nature hazards, you got animals and shit you got to worry about, or threat. Maybe you have local militia or gangs or, drug fiends, okay? But there's something about you protecting yourself with positive energy right now. Now, this card did come out for the other piles, so I'm going to put it back because I don't do the repeat energy thing. Okay, this deck is too big for that. But at the bottom of the deck, we do have Be Brave and Honest Knight. All right, so some of the advice is there's something, and that kind of gives me that polka dot energy, where there's something that you're ready to see. Because when I was channeling that polka dot imagery, it made me feel like there's something that you are, again, like you're activating, that you're going to start to see, like there's like something that you're going to enter, like spring into in your life. Now, this was in reverse, but I'm not channeling right now to take and interpret energies for you, number 3, as a reversal. I did for another pile, but I don't feel the calling to do that for you. We'll see if that changes. So this is... Okay, I just want to check the other cards. I got this for another pile, so I'm going to put this one back. Ooh, I just saw the Seer card in your deck. And what that tells me, Reiku, clear. Just wanted to clear the deck again. With the Seer card coming up in the deck, it does tell me again, with the Seer card coming out and the Knight card, there's something that you are going to, like, your sight is, confirmation with that horn in the background, your sight is about to be opened up to something. Wow. Okay, Stag and Eagle. All right, so first of all, your guides slapped the deck out of my hand. Okay, just to make sure I knew to take that Stag card for you. So I'm going to take it. Let me clean this mess up. Hold on. All in a day's work, everybody. No need to press the panic button, security. Okay, so we have here the Knight. Again, be brave and honest. We're going to start with the cards they had to slap the whole deck onto the floor to get, all right, which is Stag, trust and thrive, and then eagle, see things from a higher perspective. This does give me the impression that right now for you, number 3, you might be in a little bit of a stagnant state in your life, in your career, in your like love life. Or if it's not your career and love life, it just means like, I feel like it's a crossroad type of thing. It's a, I don't know, like maybe you're doing really good in your career, maybe your love life is thriving, but there's still something inside that feels a little misguided. It feels a little empty. It feels a little bit like, damn, I wish like I had a little bit more direction and clarity on understanding like what I should do, because there's something that feels so stagnate, not routine, because I feel like maybe you do have different things going on, friends, dates, family, socials to attend, but there's something lingering in the shadow. That's why his eyes are closed. There's something lingering in the shadow, in the background, that just feels, dare I say the E word, which is empty. It feels like there's something that might be lacking that you can't put your finger on. It does feel as if that you're it's about your perspective, but it's also telling me there's something about your psychic eye and your psychic gift. I do feel like you're a very psychically gifted pile. I feel like you work very closely, whether knowingly or not, with your guides and your guardians, and in particular your ancestors. The winds are picking up, so I know that to be correct. You are very tapped in, and I do feel like some of the advice from the paternal bloodline is saying like maybe you're not tapping in as much as you could. You have here let go of the need to be right, and then also you had here shed old skin, which was in reverse. So let's take a look at these and try to channel the message for these together. Well, one thing they are telling me and they're saying is that you are at a point of your personal rebirth. You have achieved this point where you're accessing a deeper self-knowledge and wisdom. This is something that is ancient. You are coming into a very matured state of who you are and establishing a foundation of who you are in either your immediate households or the societies that you interact with. So the workplace, or on the block, or within your communities that you interact with. There's something about like, if this was Grand Theft Auto, the video game, you went up in like status. All right, like your status is increasing, but it's because you have decided to, or you are in the process, or perhaps they are advising you that this is what is occurring for you, that you are in the process of shedding like an old version of yourself, old habits that have kept you stagnant. It could be physical, actual addictive habits, or it could just be your approach to life and your process of thinking. You've kind of moved and transcended away from those habits, and now you're actually able to, you're going to start attaining like more enriched encounters. So people who have more depth, you'll be able to exchange more with. And I don't mean to do so much forecast reading, but for some reason for you, number 3, there's something about you needing to be able to start seeing what your future holds. Because of this maybe inner slight empty feeling that you have, it's like they want you to, see the higher perspective. They kind of want you to shift that, and maybe that's the advice here, to shift that, to see that there's more, that like she's holding that pipe, there's more to life that's held for you in the stars, that's held for you in your alignment. There's more to come. So it's almost as if they want you to hold a severance of faith and shed this older version of you that is not, dare I say, serving you. But why is it not serving you? It's not serving you because it lives in a sadder or a melancholy state. I'm curious as to why. Because I did see, and this was the card I saw twice, the Heart Guardian come out, and I feel like there are some restrictions with love. Did you get your heart broken through a death that occurred in the family? Or is it divorce or separation? It applies differently for everyone. Some of you, your heart was broken when you lost a parent at a young age, or a sibling. Okay? Or recently losing something, someone, losing a home in a fire, a loved one, God forbid, or a pet. There's something that at some point it broke your heart and you're still not, yeah, you still haven't recovered from it entirely. And you probably, and I don't say this to be shadow, doom and gloom, it's just, this is life. Okay? You may never fully recover from the loss of the thing that you are feeling is missing, but it's all about how you are focused. I want to point out again that you have a figure here with the eyes closed. So I do feel that your paternal bloodline is advising that you start to look more inwardly. The peace that you are seeking, whether that appear outside in your environments, or the peace that you really want, that inner peace, that inner quiet, that inner storm. Y'all know the one where your heart doesn't ache so much, your head and your thoughts aren't flying and spinning around in your mind so much, where you can just feel like, oh, okay, I feel calm. I don't feel like I have an overdrive of emotions or an overdrive of thoughts. Because if I have an overdrive of thoughts and I have an overdrive of emotions, and when I have an overdrive of emotions, they trigger more thoughts. And staying in that loop, it's as if they're guiding you. They're saying, like, look within yourself. Like, look at yourself before you look anywhere else. And look, and not even just look at yourself. Look at yourself. You're a mess. No, not like that. Hear me out. It's look at yourself. Look at that part of yourself. Whatever you're feeling is missing or lacking in your life experience, money, love, blah, blah, blah. They're saying, look at yourself. And as you're looking at yourself, give yourself love there. If you don't have money, give love to the money that you do have, or the times that you did have, or the dream that you can have and will have. They're saying if you feel like you don't have enough resources, well, think about the resources that you do have. Do you have shoes to put on your feet? Okay, if you don't have shoes, do you have socks? Okay, if you don't have socks, do you have a paved road to walk down? Okay, if you don't have a paved road, do you have a walking stick to find on your way? There's always something to be grateful for. So they want you to really start looking within and start reveling in loving parts of yourself that may have gotten a little bit away from you, from your ability to reach it with love. That sounds so general, and I hope it makes sense. Leave comments if it doesn't. I'm happy to kind of step back into this channel to open it up again. But let's see what this card has. And it says, embrace, wow, the energy of peace. There's a really, because look how you have the peacemaker, heart guardian with her eyes closed, broken arrow, and then knight with his eyes closed. Like the knight has his sword down. It's not up. So he's like, I'm after a long battle. It's either after or before one. Okay, that inner peace you got to channel. But he feels like, to me, he's finished the battle with those roses. It's like these are the ones that are lost, with those scars are on his face, male or female. Like, it's like, this is what was lost. I'm ready to put my sword down. I'm ready to find peace within. Okay, again, that word loss. So it feels like there is, your advice from your paternal bloodline is for you to connect with this loss that you might be experiencing in some form. It could even be a hit to your ego. You know, it doesn't have to be like a physical, it could be a material loss, but connect to this, excuse me, but connect to this loss that you may have experienced, and find inner peace. Find inner peace again. Like, their advice is like, you can find peace again. You can find happiness, dare I say, but they're like, let's just start at peace for our number threes. Like, you can find peace. So let's continue and let's see what are some of the things that they are proud about, if they could tell you. If this is someone that you may have lost, like, this is definitely a message from them on the other side saying, like, find peace with this. It's okay to find peace with what happened. Or or just find peace. Yeah, they really want you to find peace. I feel like if you have family members that are living, like, they see, like, they just see how hard you think or how hard you might be on yourself. And they just want you to find peace. They want you to like know that you're loved and find peace. And also they want you to, like, you know, find help. Like, if there's something I can help you, if it's taking a pole dancing class or taking a trip to a spiritual site, or taking a trip to a home country, or taking a cooking class that takes months because you have to learn a special dish. Like, it's almost like they want you to reinvest into yourself to find time to recharge and refill and resurge your soul, like your battery. So let's get messages that they're proud of. If they could tell you things that they're proud of. Here's one. Wow, this one came out before too. Meditate and contemplate. So that means we need to clear the energy here. Clear. There we go. All right, we got some new cards coming out. I lost my pendulum, so it's like the other means of clearing. I don't like using too much sage because I like the entities that I work with, they don't need to be cleansed out like that. So the sage is like very strong. You don't need to use that all the time. People overly use sage. It actually wards away the ancestors. It is good during like lunar rituals, but it's not like a daily use type of thing. Okay, so the messages that number 3 needs to know that from their paternal bloodline about them being proud. Okay, we got 3 cards. Nice. And they're all new energy. There we go. So we have 2 other cards. These keep like falling and flailing everywhere. Is that how you feel like your life is? Like falling and flailing everywhere? Because every other pile, like, things were smooth operations when it came to managing these cards, but in this pile we're having a little bit of trouble managing things. Anyway, nothing will come of this situation, and don't let your past hold you back. Okay, this makes sense. So it does feel that there is a connection that you are experiencing, like a soul pattern that you're experiencing in this lifetime, where you are having a resistance from transitioning from the lesson that your soul learned in your previous lifetime in this lifetime. Okay, so some of you are like, I don't believe in multiple lives. I don't know why you're here if you don't, or if you don't, let me convince you differently. Energy is never destroyed or created. It is only transferred. So why would you be destroyed? Your consciousness might not show up like this, but maybe it is. No. Anyway, my point I'm saying is there does feel like there's a karmic tie that you have to yourself, a karmic tether that you have to a past life lesson. And it does feel like maybe if you revisit, perhaps that's why everybody's eyes are closed, if you revisit that past life, you can go into that lesson and learn from that past self and say, hey, look, what is it that I'm forgetting about in this life? So that way I can stop repeating this pattern. It does feel like that is the void that you must enter. But besides that, what they are proud, honestly, I feel like this is just a channeled message for you. So let's see, what are they proud about? A new start is coming. They're proud about this new phase that you're entering in your career or in your life. Some of you started school, you started a program, you started training, you started taking your workout more seriously, you started taking your family, like you started doing something more seriously, with more intent, with more focus, with more discipline. And they're like, oh, I see you. Okay, girl. Okay, boy. All right, you serious about it this time. All right, you can go ahead and see it through. If you're joining a military program or a training program of any sort, okay, let's just, even if you're just taking your spiritual, like, oh shit, she getting up today, she juicing today again, y'all. Or oh, okay, I see her meditating, I see him doing his yoga, I see him with his crystals on, I see him getting a spiritual tattoo, like, things like that. These individuals are very in your paternal bloodline, they're very proud of you for starting this new venture. They're very proud of you. Communication is key. They do appreciate how you are like the glue, because before you had this peacemaker card, and the peacemaker card always immediately makes me think about Libra, and now you have here a Gemini new moon card energy. So with Libra, Gemini energy, not saying that you are, saying that the energetic archetype is here, that it feels like you're really good with handling multiple forms of communication across people. So putting out conversational fires, like someone thinks that this one said that, and you're like, no, that's not what they meant. You don't read the group text again. They said that if, and they're like, oh, my bad. Like, whether it's managing something like that at that level, or, maybe you're at work and you have to delegate email chains or just marketing or social posts. There's something about, they would say that they really are proud about, like, how you speak. Like, whether you're the person in the family that speaks very eloquently, or you are really good at rapping, or you're a really good singer, or you're a good poet, like you're good with the words, and it really helps stop a lot of familial disputes. And they do say, though, they wish that you would speak up for yourself more, though. Like, they know that there's something that you are hiding, and they wish that you would speak up a little bit more about it. Like, that could be, maybe you need help. Maybe it's financial help. Maybe it's relationship help. Maybe it's, like house help. Like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all this stuff on my own. And it's like, but you won't speak up and say, hey, can somebody help me pick up TT from whatever, so that I can go to my own kickboxing class and maintain, like, so there's something with suffering in silence. Okay. And then we have, be bold and make the first move. So you are a first in the family. All right. So you're getting a compliment big time on that. Roses are being thrown at you right now, friends, in the ether, we'll say. You have ancestors literally that are throwing roses at you because you are like the first in the family to do something. You might want to watch my video from my second YouTube channel, which is Priestess Ishtah Heals. And I identify 9, I think I did 9, it's either 8 or 9, but like 9 characteristics of a generational recoder. We call these people like generational curse breakers, generational healers. I call them a generational recoder because you are recoding the bloodline. It's a quick little video. If you have a spiritual notebook, bring it with you there, because it's something that you can kind of take and apply in life. And if you have your own spiritual practice or want one, it might help you with identifying certain characteristics in your clients as well. So I want to invite you to that video because you are, again, you're either the first in the family occupationally wise or academically wise, or what's the other one I was saying? Like spiritually too. Like you might be the first one who's like not doing the church thing anymore, or the secular religious Abrahamic line of worship, and you're following, maybe that's what it is. Or you're following your own flow, or maybe you're going back to that. It could be opposite. Maybe everybody else is not into stuff and they're atheists, and you're like, no, I'm going back to God. I'm going back to the church. Not saying that those of us who don't go to church are not going back to God. Okay, we're not saying that. I'm just saying that you are the first. You're the first to do something. You're the first one to not be a fat person in the family. I'll say it. Or you're the first person who wants to be thicker and not be the thin person, the skinny chick in the family. And you don't care that you have curves. You don't care if you have little dips. You are a first. And it is refreshing to the ancestors that watch your bloodline, their bloodline ascend. Number 3, we're closing out your reading, but not before we get special personalized messages that will help you to channel special personalized messages. Think of these as signs and almost synchronicities as we close out your reading. Number three. I want to thank you. I'm Divine Priestess Ishtah. Thank you so much for being here. I want to invite you to my Instagram, where every month I am channeling. Ooh, you heard that bird? Okay. Visit that Instagram, y'all. But every month we are channeling our astrological energy. I'm also helping you to understand what is energetic resetting. How do you reset your energy? So we look at our energy very deeply there, and you get to see me off camera, or I should say more on camera, because I'm off camera here. So it's a lot of fun. People are loving the Astro Chats. So this is a personal invite to you to join me at Astro Chats on my Instagram. Don't forget that I do have a free 21 ritual healing guide for complete emotional recovery. I think number 3, I did not offer this to anyone else, so it makes sense why I'm giving it to you, because from the energy that I felt here, I think that you would really benefit. It's absolutely free. These are not AI generated. I've been working on this for years. These are things tried and true that I've created, cultivated. I put my soul into this, y'all. I want you to feel me right now. Put your hand on your chest. You can feel me. I know you can. I put my soul into this, y'all. I gave it to my family. I gave it to my friends, and I've tried it on myself, and this shit works. Give me 21 days with you, and I promise you can get to complete emotional recovery, or your money back. It's a money back guarantee. Okay, so go ahead and download your free copy. Download your free copy today. Don't forget to check out the other freebies as well as the other services that I have for you. Number 3, that's it. Let's get your messages. I will be starting a spiritual motivation TikTok, so don't forget to check the description for joining me there. I'm going to be starting that very, very soon. Okay, so at the bottom, I just want to point out that you had acceptance. Accept past. Didn't we talk about that past life? Anyhow, accept past and current situations and work through issues gracefully. All right. So that's some food for thought I want you to just chew on. All right. Your next card, we had overcoming obstacles. Get back on your feet. Gain strength from difficult situations. We did channel that, right? We did feel that. We did feel that recovery is right here, and you're ready for it. You're ready to move on back into happiness, enjoying life and leaving or just refilling that vessel from that empty space that you might be experiencing. Sacrifice, giving up something now for a future reward. I do feel like you've made the decision. For many of you, you've kind of made the decision to make the sacrifice. So it could be taking on another job or going back to school or doing some type of training. But you are taking or making that sacrifice to really enrich your future. So that way you can, I feel like you're someone, you're very forward focused. So the sacrifices that you're making now, they're just saying they will pay off. You will be rewarded for it. And then fear, expecting the worst, afraid of failure, wasting time on negative thoughts. So they definitely want you to, all right, there we go. They definitely want you to kind of remove fear as a factor as you're moving through life. I feel like that's a part of that kind of moving through things with grace. And I think we've got that here. Working through issues successfully with grace. Number 3, I feel that you are really like this, like maven. Like you have such a pocket of this potential that you're really ready to access and let life show you how pleasant and wonderful it can be again through exchanges, and a lot of those exchanges being love-based, whether with a pet, with a companion, with friends, with family, within work circles, or just with yourself. Okay, so number 3, go easy, go nice and delicate. You are ready to come back out of that cave and into the light, because there's a whole beautiful beach waiting for you. So let's get in, baby. All right, number 3, thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to check out that free emotional healing guide. I really think it'll help you. But if not, until next time, bye.